60-second delay between the actual broadcast versus what actually shows up on YouTube.
Okay, I did not know that.
Sweet.
I tried to do a Google Hangouts for my last book launch party, and it was kind of a disaster simply because you're not live and engaging with the fans like you think you are. There's about a 60 or 90-second delay between what you and I are saying now versus what they see on YouTube. So
they do that. They do
because
that
they're doing on-the-fly encoding with YouTube.
Yeah.
So, it's understandable. It's just frustrating.
I wish they had a good chat app, but then you couldn't do it because of that delay.
Yeah.
Bad.
The funny part about it is they're getting rid of Google Plus. I really don't know what the future is for Google Hangouts.
Well, I'm sure that if they do have to get rid of Google Plus, they'll absorb it into.
Well, they're actually taking, as I recall, Google Voice and Google Hangouts and combining them together to keep the, so you'd still be able to use the apps on the phone and whatnot.
It's called Google Borg.
I think
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
Daniel's gonna be a good guest.
Thank you. I try.
I'm feeling it.
I try.
All right.
What I'm doing right now is I'm blocking all of my stupid, phone calls here just because I've had too many people call me, like telemarketers call me during the. So if a phone rings, I'll do a funny bit where I claim to be Batman and Commissioner Gordon can't come to the phone or something. So we'll play off that. But a phone may ring. I'm just warning you right now. It's already happened once.
When that happens, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I've got my old. I actually geek hacked. Hang on a second. Here it is. Geek hacked my granddad's 1947 Bakelite Western Bell rotary dial phone to work with my Comcast VoIP. So there, go me.
See, Daniel is techie and geeky.
I try.
Double whammy.
Boom.
All right, you guys ready to start?
Let's do it, baby.
Oh.
Pretty casual format. We're not too stuffy, so don't worry about it.
Cool beans.
All
I
right.
just took off my tuxedo.
Awesome.
He actually did. Well, not a tuxedo, but he took
Well,
care.
shirt and tie.
Yeah, shirt and tie. Yeah. All right.
Here, I'll put a tie on for you, just in your honor. Hold on. Got my headphones here. So we'll just little bolo tie action here. Awesome. How's that?
I was hoping for single Windsor, but we'll work
Wins or
with
not, babe? Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Hear ye, hear ye. I'm Dave Nelson, and on this 28th day of May 2014, I call to order this 11th meeting of the SciFi Geeks Club. Let's commence with the roll call. Mr. Matt Stein, are you here?
Yes, chef.
Chef?
Yeah. You know, like in Hell's Kitchen, they're always yelling, and they're just like, yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Okay, yeah. All right, sorry. Brad Ludwig, are you present?
Here,
Just here?
President accounted for, sir.
All right, that. You better call me, sir. All right. Wrapping up with Anessa Moyens.
Hi.
Hi. Sir, hi, sir.
I'm not in the military.
Oh, okay.
So that's what dating her's like.
All right, a little insight on that relationship. We'd also like to welcome this week's guest geek. Daniel Haight is a science fiction novelist with many published short stories.
Yes, Sensei!
What the hell?
Bam! There it is.
Cobra Kai!
This is how you get invited. This is how you get invited back to the show. He's a native of San Francisco with a love for science fiction, emergent technology, and working with his hands. Haight has been writing stories. Sorry for calling you by your last name, Daniel.
This is why I love you, because my last name is
12
Haight.
years old, but began writing professionally after he'd give it a try and found that people actually enjoyed his work. And, hey, welcome to the SciFi Geeks Club, Mr. Daniel Haight. Daniel, how you doing?
Woo!
All hail the collective.
What?
We're all brown coats here.
I can't handle this guy today. He's... Whew. Dave, you really brought a good one today.
Oh, I feel the geek love.
Now, Daniel.
You can wash it off later, Daniel. To be fine.
Now, Daniel,
If it dries off, if it dries, it stains, right?
Yes.
let's explain something real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Matt is not a typical sci-fi geek. He's kind of like a geek in progress. He's a geek in training. So
Proto geek.
he may make comments where he's confused or he doesn't understand what we're talking about at times. So
It's adorable.
at that
Oh,
point,
shut up.
we'll just stop and explain it to him.
You know, because of you jackasses, I now go into work and I'm like, hey, did you guys know that there's like 17 Star Wars coming out from now until 2080? These are now the things I talk about.
And
Here.
they're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Cool, dude.
so during this portion of the show, when he doesn't understand what's going on, I'll be like, okay, so here's Darth Vader, here's Luke Skywalker, and they're like, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Matt's blown away.
Oh.
See, look, it even matches your shirt, dude. Look.
Yeah, well, I didn't take a shower before this, and I just got done
Yeah, I can
sweaty.
Matt.
I'm not. You make me so angry.
I am angry, Matt. Arr.
Dave, I'm not coming back if this is the way that things are going to be from now on.
Just so you know, Matt, my friends tell me I abuse because I love.
No, all of my friends are the same way. So I am leaving you, Dave. Though I'm taking the toaster too.
All right. Well, as they say in business, or in the customer's always right. In our case, the guest is always right. So, Daniel, go ahead and abuse Matt all you want.
No, it's all right. I'm actually on Matt's side. See, I actually have also embraced I feel that to be a true geek, you actually have to embrace the things outside of geekdom in order to truly appreciate. And so, where I live and the place I work, I've got a lot of like proto geeks in which they have transcended the normal stereotype, and we have all kinds of really interesting discussions. So, I'm sure Matt and I will get along just fine.
It enriches the species, right? I mean,
I shall defend thee, Matt.
Oh boy, Dave, where did you find this guy?
I was hiding under a rock, and I jumped. He was passing by. I jumped out at him. I'm like, "Give me all your money." He says, "Look, I don't have any money. I run a radio show." I said, "Well, give me a guest spot." And he was like, "Okay, fine. Do you know anything about Star Wars?" I'm like, "No, but I can learn." And then he said, "Okay, fine."
Wow, he was in your closet, wasn't he? You found him in your closet.
exactly how it happened. That's it. Exactly how it happened. All right, so this is the podcast where we kind of review the week's sci-fi news. But before we get into the stories for the week, got to remind you that we do have a Patreon campaign going on. It's always going on. Patreon.com/GalacticNetcast. You, dear listener, can help support us build the perfect machine, build the biggest, most badass science fiction podcasting network on the internet. Patreon.com/GalacticNetcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can become our boss. We work for you then. $1 a month or $15 a month will get you a guest spot, just like Daniel has today on the SciFi Geeks Club. Patreon.com/GalacticNetcast, and we thank you in advance for supporting the network. All right, before we get into new business, old business, what did we talk about last time, Brad?
Well, last week we did not have a guest geek, but we were kind of recovering from moves and other changes, so that worked out for the best. You're digging the pince-nez, aren't you? Huh? Yeah, respect the pince-nez.
Yeah.
Stories that were brought were the Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice from Matt. I presented the story of here's the first new Star Wars Episode 7 Alien, and it's not CG, which was an amazing Henson creature setup. New Star Wars rumors include Blu-ray of unaltered original trilogy and subjects of these spin-off films. So not only are we going to get Star Wars films, but we are going to get films that are centered on specific characters like Boba Fett.
And since then, let me interrupt real quick. And since then, we're not going to talk about this during the actual news portion, but since that story broke, Gareth Edwards from the Godzilla movie, he's been.
Oh yeah, he's tapped to actually make a spin-off movie.
Yeah, they've begun writing. So exciting stuff.
Well, given the fact that they pissed away the entire expanded universe, I'm really not too excited as to what they're going to come up with.
Oh, you're pro expanded universe.
Absolutely, dude. I got in a huge fight with somebody about that this week.
See?
I was upset. There were some hurtful words, and I defended the honor of this amazing group of body of work that kept this franchise going between the end of Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace. And had those not been there, nobody would have been talking about Star Wars. So they would have had to keep re-releasing new editions of Return of the Jedi without them. That's at least my feeling.
Well, I think that was Lucas's plan all along. I have a friend that gets every time that they re-release Star Wars, he's like,
Right.
Lucas can have my money, and I'm like, screw you, Lucas. I stopped with the episode
Thank you.
2.
Thank you. Yeah.
I refuse to see episode 3, even though I'm told it's the best of the prequels.
That's kind of the taller than Mickey Rooney award. You can still be pretty short and still win, but
yeah.
the point is that I actually wrote a very long missive on a sister station, esopodcast.com, expressing my dismay. You can read about it later on, but I'm just so disappointed and so angry about the expanded universe not being there, and I'm like, there's so many good things. I mean, granted, not every book was a winner. I'm not saying they were. However, let him who has never greenlit Jar Jar Binks cast the first stone.
I like that.
True that. And the last thing that we had was Anessa's story about the Retro Hugo Prize to honor science fiction of 1938. So not only are they honoring current people that are writing science fiction, but they're actually going back in time and giving those that wrote fantastic sci-fi that has stood the test of time, and giving them the recognition that they deserve.
Hey, speaking of science fiction and the 1930s, I began listening to a podcast this week that basically reviews every single Marvel comic from 1938 on, or 1936, whatever it is.
The old timely stuff?
Yeah. And it was really poorly written. Those comic books were really, really bad.
It's amazing to look at.
They're charming. They have a certain charm for what they were at the time.
Well, the thing about comics of the early days, and the thing that everybody really kind of needs to understand is comic books were a dodge to get wood pulp out of Canada and import booze into the United States during the 30s.
Also true.
So comics were run by the mob, essentially.
No idea.
And they were desperate to have comic books written so that they could import more pulp into the U.S. to get booze across the border. So, there's a book called, hang on.
So we can thank Prohibition for the rise of comic books, basically.
Yes, you absolutely can. If it weren't for Prohibition...
Thank you, Al Capone.
Men of Tomorrow, the name of the book is Men of Tomorrow, Geeks, Gangsters, and the Birth of the Comic Book, written by Gerald Jones, who is he's a veteran of comic book writing and a historian, and it's a book that if you're interested in comic books, you need to read, because it really tells the true story of how much of a jackass the creator of Batman was, and
how dare you, sir?
Yes.
How dare you?
He was a bit of a jackass.
Them's fighting words.
He was a very, very clever man, though, and actually managed to get himself out of a contract because he never really had disclosed his age and didn't have a birth certificate. So Bob Kane actually made out on the deal.
By the way, as long as we're talking about old school science fiction being honored by the Hugo Awards, can I tell you just how frustrating I find it that science fiction from 2014 is getting ignored by the Hugo Awards? Meanwhile, they have to go back to 1938 to look for people to give awards to.
See?
Listen, I'm right here. This book is pretty good.
Hey, Daniel, while you're holding that up, why don't you tell us what that book is?
Hold on, freeze frame.
Wow.
There we go. So I write dystopian fiction, and my latest book, Iron Mountain, is something I think we found each other through Reddit, and so I talk about this all the time. Matter of fact, right now on Reddit, if you're on there, for every copy of Iron Mountain I sell through Reddit, I'm giving a copy of a book to abused and neglected kids, and so that's something I'm doing right now. So if you have any interest in buying the book, every book I sell is actually going to result in a copy being given to a kid who really needs a healthy break from reality.
Cool.
Thank you. So as a brief synopsis, Iron Mountain is about a kid growing up at the end of the world. This boy, Jim, is 15 years old. His biggest ambitions in life were to get high and get laid. And all of a sudden now he's having to survive the end of the world on the back of his dad's fishing boat off the coast of Los Angeles. And so it's fact-based, it's hard science fiction, it's dystopian fiction, all true locations, all real technology. And it's essentially my love letter to all the good science fiction I've read and seen over the years.
Now, is this a continuation of Flotilla?
Yes, correct. It is part of the Flotilla series.
Okay.
So the original book, Flotilla, began the journey. You can actually pick up Iron Mountain by itself. I give a pretty good intro at the start, so it catches you up pretty quick.
Okay.
And, yeah, you can jump right into it.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so let's jump into the news. And
I'll just pose like this the entire time.
Do it.
hey,
Hold on, that's not his book. That's a copy of Return of the Jedi in VHS. Oh. A tiny screen here. I can't tell what anything is.
I would love it if you actually had a copy of Return of the Jedi in VHS. Do you?
I know. You know what? I think I checked mine. I'm sorry to say. I had to make room for the Blu-ray, and so we hadn't watched them in years. I finally got rid of them.
Somewhere I have a DVD copy of the Laserdisc version of the three films.
You're not a true geek until you have Road Warrior on video disc, not Laserdisc, video disc.
See,
so that was the VHS beta battle between those two formats, right?
Precisely. I actually had a friend who actually had a video disc, a functioning video disc player, and a copy of Road Warrior on video disc.
See,
it looked like a massive 3.5-inch floppy.
Yes, I had Temple of Doom. No. I had Indiana Jones, RoboCop. I had one other film in Laserdisc, and I ended up. I went to college, and I'm like, I need money for food.
Yeah, really.
And got rid of it. So
it's all good.
All right, let's get into the news, and Matt has the first story. What do you got, Matt?
Jurassic World. There were some quote-unquote spoilers mentioned. They weren't really spoilers, but they were kind of spoilers. It was really weird the way it was worded. Anyways, what they have so far for information is that they're not sure if Jurassic Park has been rebuilt and moved or how it's going to pan out for the previous stories. But it is off the coast of Florida now, and you have to take a high-speed shuttle boat or train or something from Florida to get to Jurassic World. It's now a fully functional amusement park that comes complete with a petting zoo, and there's a short little blurb about how they don't think a petting zoo is really a good idea, but how else would there be a movie if something didn't go awry? There's also going to be a hologram information center with an explanation of how dinosaurs were made. I assume science.
Yes, because God knows we haven't seen that enough.
Yes, yes.
So okay, that's whose bright idea was this? I mean, I know this is the plot to the film, but in the film, whose freaking bright idea was this?
There wasn't a ton of information on characters or who's doing what yet.
All right.
But that's not even like the petting zoo has nothing to do with what actually starts to go wrong, which was even funnier to me. But they create a new dinosaur to make things interesting.
Super Rex!
Basically,
the genesis of Godzilla!
Yeah, they're like they make a new dinosaur using T-Rex, raptors, snake, and cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish are cute and cuddly.
Oh, it would have been great if they would have used like a sea cucumber so it get freaked out, and then all its intestines would come out.
Wow. Yeah. So the dinosaur breaks out and then runs amok, and I just assume hilarity ensues.
You remember how Jurassic Park 3 you were rooting for the dinosaurs to kill the humans?
Who saw Jurassic Park 3? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, just keep quiet. Let the adults talk.
Let the
Here's
adults
the point.
get out of here.
You were rooting for the shark to kill the humans in Jaws 3, and you were rooting for the dinosaurs to eat the people in Jurassic 3. In this one here, why don't they just make it a parody? Because it's going to be laughably bad. There's just no way they could turn this into anything good.
Yeah, it's You know what? I don't think I saw 1 and 2. I did not see 3.
Yeah, I never saw 3. I did see 2 though.
I would remember William H. Macy in a film.
Was that the one where they come on land?
No, that was 2.
The mainland?
No, that was 2. That was 2.
So which one was 3?
3 was the one where they actually had the flying
The
pterodactyls. Yeah.
I think I might have seen that one.
Yeah. Meh. Meh. Look at.
But apparently I don't remember much of it, so it's cool.
Somehow B.D. Wong survived the first movie, and now he's back. Vincent D'Onofrio's in it. Yeah. Look at all these names of people. I really recognize all of them. Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Ty Simpkins. Yeah, these are really A-list actors. Yeah, so they really have a strong picture here. Okay. All right. Looking good. Good times. Good times. In a world where you've never seen the first movies. Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. I still need it. My 7-year-old still will not sit through all of Jurassic Park. It's too intense for him.
The original was a pretty intense movie, so I guess I don't really blame him.
No. It was too intense for him, and it's fine. I made the mistake of showing him like Super 8, and he had to sleep in my bed for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I thought it would be like the Goonies kind of thing where it would
Yeah,
be too
they
crazy,
really
but-
kind of pitched it that way too, so I don't entirely blame you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, okay, he'll probably like this. Oh, freaked the crap out of him.
Or Stand By Me with an alien.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. There you go.
That's the vibe that movie had, though, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Instead of finding the dead body, they find a living alien that's trying to tear apart the town and kill people.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like that movie. I think that movie is like a great throwback to the Goonies and
it is a
Close
very good
Encounters and
film.
stuff like that. But as far as for kids, no, it wasn't.
Plus, it was the team up. It was the team up movie between J.J. Abrams and Spielberg.
Right.
So, how could that go wrong?
They even brought in some guy who could do motion picture soundtracks like John Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't John Williams. John Williams didn't do the soundtrack. Some other guy did. I can't remember his name, but I was like, you came away from that going, oh, wow, John Williams did a really good job. Then you go look on IMDb, and you're like, oh, that's not John Williams.
His
You
brother.
lied to me! So,
All right. No, I got a bad feeling about this.
right.
I hope they change their mind on some of these plot points.
you're going to need a bigger dinosaur.
Or
That's
a
why they
bigger
made the
park.
Super T-Rex. And it's now a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Is there a release date for this Jurassic World movie?
I did not see one.
Yeah,
I
it
even-
is June 12th,
Get out of here, Brad.
2015.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
next year,
No, summer next year.
next year, the year of huge blockbusters, the whole year. It's Star Wars year next year.
Yeah, there's a lot going on next year with movies.
All right.
All right.
Let's move on to story number 2. Brad, this is something that we have been hoping and wishing for a long time, and it could finally be here, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you look at a lot of sci-fi movie tropes, and they involve suspended animation. If you're going to travel a long distance, be it like in 2001, 2010, you had to put everybody in suspended animation to take the trip to Jupiter, or in Alien, they're in suspended animation, and so on and so forth. So it's always been something that we've thought about and have wondered how we go about doing it, but they've actually come up with a way to do it, and they are going to do trials. And it's kind of a sad thing because there are going to be trials done on people without, there it is, without
There
consent.
you go.
Without consent.
Commissioner Gordon, I can't say the city right now. Some telemarketer in Texas is like, that was the weirdest call I've had all night.
What the hell just happened?
He called me. He asked for it.
Everybody should
Too
answer
fair.
their phone like that. If somebody like
Brad,
that.
I'm gonna start answering your phone like that when you're not home.
There was a period of time in college when I would pick up my phone. I had a sign above it that said "Bat Phone," and I would always answer it, "Yes, Commissioner." All right.
Keep
I
the
also
dream
had
alive.
this.
Anyway,
See, exactly. So surgeons from the UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, are beginning suspended animation trials by dramatically cooling down trauma victims. Now, these are people that have been shot or stabbed and have a 7% chance of survival.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is try to use this rapid cooling that could be used for suspended animation to keep them alive during critical operations. Now, by critical, so critical that they're actually going to be running a tube of saline. They're going to be actually removing the blood from the body. And they're going to be taking a tube and attaching it to the aorta, which is the largest vein in the human body, in the heart region. And they're going to replace the blood with cooled saline solution to get to the body down to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I said at the beginning that they're normally, if you join a study, you have to sign a waiver saying that, you know, hey, if anything goes wrong, I'm not going to sue the crap out of you. Because these people are going to have, that they're going to be working with, have a 7% chance of survival, they are going to be exempt from this. So
they're almost dead.
Their chance of survival is so small that even if something goes wrong with this test, they probably weren't going to make it anyway.
Yes.
Which is the only part of this that kind of makes me a little... It makes you look at morality a little. Well, maybe not morality. Morality is a strong word, but how you go about exactly. See, so how it works. The technique involves internal rather than external cooling. So you're not putting somebody in a chamber and cooling their body. You're actually, like I said, attaching a tube of cool saline solution to the aorta and pumping it through their body to cool down the body to 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. And what you're doing then is you're putting them in a prolonged period of cardiac arrest.
Good Lord.
It's colder than my ex-girlfriend's heart.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can I interrupt here and ask Daniel a question? Daniel,
Oh, go for it.
were you the class clown? Were you disruptive growing up?
No, Mr. Jeff. I was always good, and I always behaved myself, and I was very quiet.
For the non.
Oh wait, you could see that. Never mind.
For the people that are not watching the video, Daniel was putting up little smiley faces and little sad faces during Brad's story.
They corresponded
Trust
with
me.
what was going on.
Trust
so.
me, what was happening was really funny if you saw it.
So what prolonged period of cardiac arrest. So in other words, they'll be clinically dead. Now they actually tested this on pigs back in 2000, and that's one of the first trials of testing out this procedure. And these pigs were also fatally wounded. And they replaced the blood with saline and got their bodies down to the same temperature. If the pigs were resuscitated, at medium speed, and they don't really say medium speed. So in other words, they reintroduce the blood back into the body and warm the body at a medium speed. There was a 90% survival rate from coming out of this suspended animation. But in some cases, they had to give the heart a jump start to get it to go again. Those pigs that survived demonstrated no physical or cognitive impairment. So in other words, there was no brain damage, there was no other damage done to the bodies of the pigs. So this is really kind of a cutting-edge thing for people that have suffered from drive-by shootings, on near-fatal stabbings, and if it works out, if they can buy the time that this is supposed to buy you to, sew an artery back together that has been shredded or whatever, to be able to do that operation, give them time to get the job done right, and then bring their temperatures back up and bring them back to life. This is really kind of a big deal. And this opens the doors to interstellar travel, for sure.
Absolutely. I got to be honest with you. I think it's a wonderful idea, although anybody who's ever been to the DMV knows suspended animation has existed for years.
It does take forever to get through the DMV. I'm telling you.
In that whole 10% margin, in those films, when people are waking up from long-duration space flights, there's usually one person dead anyways, right? One person doesn't make it.
And one always ends up being the homicidal maniac.
Yep.
Just out of show of hands, who do you think the homicidal maniac on this call would be?
Can I just point directly at you?
Come on now.
Happy thoughts, Matthew. Happy thoughts, Matthew. Yeah.
Dave, I gotta go. I have a fear that Daniel's gonna be outside my window.
It's totally gonna be Matt
I haven't threatened anybody's life in the last 10 minutes. You're fine.
Boom.
Oh
See?
gosh.
We're good.
This is an amazing story, Brad. This is awesome. I can't wait to be frozen for. How long would it take to get to the nearest star?
20,000. Hold on. What's the rate of speed?
What are we traveling at?
Right.
Like we've discovered an exoplanet 3.5 light years from us.
Oh, okay. So right under light speed, as fast as we can go without actually going light speed.
Which is actually not very fast. If it will take us, a couple years or so to get to Mars?
3 months, I thought, right? Didn't they say the average cycle, given current propulsion speeds, is around 3 months for a Mars trip?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
think it's shortened over the years, but still, it's a long way to go.
Depends on.
We're only getting to Mars in 3 months.
But the thing that you really have to look at here is this is a short-term. If you've got a major operation that's going to take, hours, the body can withstand that most likely.
Right.
But it's going to be. God, I hate to bring this up almost, but you've seen the movie Idiocracy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Who hasn't?
And it's like all too true, unfortunately.
It's got electrolytes.
It's the stuff plants crave.
It does.
Oh, okay. So Matt's cool. He's actually seen it.
I love that movie.
Oh, Mike Judge. How can you not like Mike Judge? In that, they had a capsule where they put them inside, and it actually pulled out all the blood and replaced it with something else. I can't remember what the chemical compound was, but I think the big thing here would be taking human blood. If you were to automate a system, take the human blood out, have it live. I mean, it would have to get nutrients. It would have to get, stuff to keep it from coagulating for 3.5 years, and that's if you could get a ship to go light speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe the technology will. This is early days.
This is a first step, absolutely.
Yeah.
and they have a lot of hurdles to overcome if we're going to achieve suspended animation for interstellar travel. But these are kind of the baby steps to get us to that point. So that's why I wanted to bring it to the table, because that's sci-fi brought into reality, and that's really kind of kick-ass.
Exactly. All right. Let's move on to the story that I brought this week. And I found this very interesting. It was a long article, and I hate trying to break down a long article into short little summary, basically. Yeah, but it's the writers of Star Trek The Next Generation series finale look back 20 years later. So apparently last week was the 20th anniversary of the airing of All Good Things. I think we can all agree that that's probably the best, one of the best episodes of that series.
Speaking as a guy who actually was on the holodeck at one point, yes.
You were okay.
Nice.
Tell us more.
Oh, when you go to 780 Gower in Los Angeles, the Paramount lot you tour is an actual working lot. So when I took the tour, they were in production with Star Trek: The Next Generation. They were in production with the Brady Bunch movie. So they took us to all those sets. So my brother went in there and he broke something in the turbo shaft, and we went to the holodeck. It was great. It's awesome. Highly recommended. Highly recommended.
Awesome. That's really cool. So Yahoo TV sat down with Ronald D. Moore and Brandon Braga, the two writers of. Turns out they were both the writers of All Good Things and the movie, the first Next Generation movie, Generations. They were writing them at the same time. So they both spoke at length about their memories of writing and filming the landmark episode, and why they think All Good Things turned out so much better than Star Trek Generations did. Moore and Braga had been working on the Generations film script for a full year when it came time to write the TNG series finale, and they weren't expecting to actually write it. Michael Piller was assumed to be writing it, but turns out he was busy on Deep Space Nine at the time. Braga also said that if they hadn't been writing the movie, they still probably wouldn't have done anything more like daring, like kill a character off like they did in Generations. Did they kill somebody off? Yeah, Kirk died in Generations, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my.
Really? Really?
Oh my.
So, an early version of the outline for All Good Things brought back the Borg. It would have been the fourth time period, because, as you recall, Picard moved through time through three different time periods, and that would have been a fourth timeline. But they decided that was just one too many, and it was kind of distracting from the rest of the script. So that was axed. Braga said, "You take bigger swings with a movie, like we gave Data an emotion chip. You had to do something. It couldn't just be another TV episode." So during the filming of All Good Things, they were actually preparing to start production on the Generations film. They were literally knocking down sets and rebuilding them as the filming for All Good Things was going on. The transition was going on during the actual filming, because they had to redo the sets for the widescreen for the movie. So apparently the bridge set is bigger because it was being filmed for a movie, and other sets on the Enterprise set was bigger because they were doing it for Generations, and they were tearing things down as the filming was going on for All Good Things. And they eventually got into why Generations was so bad. And some of the things they brought up was they were trying to mash up two different universes that shouldn't have been together, like the whole Kirk meeting Picard, and they ended up making eggs together. You know, that's not really too exciting.
Well, let's face it. Patrick Stewart, best actor of the 20th century. William Shatner, best actor of Priceline.com.
Yeah, no.
I love the guy. He's a funny guy. I'm not saying he's not a good guy, but Patrick Stewart.
It's much better.
William Shatner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
I thought it was very interesting, this article. They really brought some insight to that time period. And 20 years, man, doesn't seem that long ago.
I feel old.
Yeah, crazy. So Braga,
And Matt was like, what, 4? 2?
I don't think he was even
20
born
years ago, I was 8. Really, guys? You think I'm 15?
Not with that goatee, no.
This took me like 2 weeks to grow. So.
Oh, good. As one of the facially hair challenged, I salute you, sir.
Yeah, I went to work the other day and someone's like, "How long has it been?" I'm like, about 2 weeks. He goes, "Did you even go through puberty yet?" No.
Shut up.
even
Hurt
they
my
think
feelings.
you're young.
Yeah, it happens.
You're the oldest young person I know.
I want to give you a noogie right now.
He has an ancient soul.
I am. I go to bed before all of these people.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like this is getting late to me, and then Dave makes fun of me, and he's
So-
2 hours ahead of me.
Just out of curiosity, Matt, what time does the early bird special start at the buffet?
4:45.
I got a coupon. We should go.
I'm all for it.
I'll
So
bet you will.
couple of things before I wrap up what I'm talking about here is Braga, whatever. He is not ruling out another possible swing at Trek. If they were to ask him, he says he'd definitely consider it. And also, Brad, you're a big fan of Cosmos, right?
Yes.
And Brandon Braga is the producer on Cosmos. And you
Nice.
you get that Star Trek vibe to that show. Sometimes.
Yeah, when you do the stuff inside the ship, the ship of the imagination, and their Tyson has the kind of the 3D holographic projector in the ship. You really kind of get the feeling of Star Trek with that ship for sure.
And I really, for my vision of the next Star Trek series, I envision that intro. Like, that intro is awesome, and that music is freaking awesome. I would love that kind of music for the next Star Trek series.
You don't want Hoki's 80 sort of pseudo metal for an opening?
No. Or that guy that...
like for Enterprise?
Yeah. It's been a long road getting from there to here.
Whoa.
What's Daniel? Call! Alright, so I'm done. Moving
By
on.
the way, I will say that William Shatner does a better con than Zachary Quinto did in Into Darkness. Because he had that whole thing where it went, cut! And I'm like, oh God, William Shatner just has you beat.
You know, and for being a person with no emotion, they should have gone super over the top. Like, he's finally breaking, his emotions are finally breaking through.
Should have, like, slaughtered a pig and ran its blood all over his face and then shouted at him.
Yeah.
Boom.
I could just see him going through the ship and grabbing all these items, just to make the point that he was pissed off, tearing his shirt open, putting pig blood on his body.
Absolutely.
What? That really took a turn.
I don't know. He's talking about these fatally injured pigs, so I think that's kind of informing the discussion.
Yeah.
Kill the pig! Kill the pig!
Okay, moving on. Anessa. This is exciting. This is exciting news. Lay it on us.
I have exciting news. Sorry. So, move over Discovery Channel and your Shark Week, because Syfy is coming to you 2 weeks beforehand with Sharknado Week.
Oh my God.
That is very sad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Syfy scored pretty big with Sharknado, the made-for-TV movie starring Ian Ziering and Tara Reid, so he can blame the network for cashing in on that success and declaring its own special week of programming.
I'm just going to say it once, right here. Do you need a new story for Science Sci-Fi Channel? It's right here. Right here. Just give me a call.
They really should.
I'm sure that Daniel will be more than happy to take their money.
Oh, yeah.
I would be happy to. And I'll come right back on here and tell you how amazing it is to go to the Coffee Bean with Roger Corman. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned. It's funny that you brought up Sharknado, Nessa, because I was talking with someone last week who's actually his band did some soundtrack work. It ended up in the Sharknado soundtrack.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he knows the director. Director's a friend of his. Got the movie made, and his band appears as one of the songs in the film. So I was all set to like, oh my God, Sharknado! Ew. He's like, hey. Okay,
I'm in that.
Director's a
That works in
friend of mine. Director's a friend of mine. Like, oh well, it's good. Like Roger Corman type.
Good.
And, it is what it is.
Good
It has
movie
its
to
own.
watch with friends and talk a lot.
When you're very
about.
drunk, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So the highlight of the week will be the debut of Sharknado 2. 1. And a new Roger Corman movie, Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which kicks off on the 26th.
Yeah.
They need to get Hart to do the
Uh-oh.
theme song to that. Terracuda.
I know, that's totally what I thought too. We laugh about Roger Corman, but he has never lost money on a film.
No.
He has always made money on his movies.
It's crazy.
Well, with the exception of the unlaunched Fantastic Four movie, I wonder if that lost him any money when they when Constantine Films shelved that piece of junk.
Yeah, it's between that and Jerry Lewis, The Day the Clown Cried, basically. It's like the great unseen movies, too bad to be viewed.
So.
Puts Manos the hands of fate to shame.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Anyway,
Vanessa, are they debuting the new Sharknado movie that week as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. So if you want highlights of the week, then on Saturday, July 26th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. And then you've got Sharkmania, the top 15 biggest, baddest, bloodiest bites, premiering Sunday, July 27th at 9 p.m. And then Sharknado 2, the second one, will be on Wednesday, July 30th at 9 o'clock. And then Sharktopus versus Terracuda on Sunday, August 2nd at 9. So.
Thank God Syfy is actually starting to get serious about science fiction again, because
Have they finally gotten rid of the whole wrestling thing, or is that still a thing?
I don't know.
I've not had cable forever, so.
I've stopped watching sci-fi.
I live in Canada now, so thank God we have space, which is a lot better than sci-fi.
I have science. Suck it.
Science.
Wait a second, was that an F word?
I said suck it.
Suck it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
S.
magic of VoIP.
Suck it.
I'm coming for you, Anessa.
Creepy.
No!
Wow.
All
And
right,
the
so
show has reached a new low.
put that on your calendar for July. July 26th through
Terracuda.
July 3rd.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Sharknado week.
All right. Good stuff. Hey, that's it. That's all we got.
Very cool.
Before we wrap up, you guys want to add anything to any of the stuff that we talked about on the show?
I was told to correct someone. Gary is watching again, and he said
Gary.
it's Gerard Jones, not Gerald.
Oh! Yep.
Yep.
I feel like a complete...
You apologize!
I feel like a D-bag, Gary. I do apologize.
So Gary, the stalker guest.
Stalker. You're going to hurt his feelings.
He's not a stalker guest, but we need to have him back on
He
again.
kind of is.
I'm kind of kidding.
We should get a follow-up on his charity as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you know what?
And
bring me on.
his charity.
Bring Gary, your stalker guest, on with me. I'd like to meet him. We'll talk about all kinds of fun stuff.
I think you
Gary's
guys would have a
wonderful.
lot in common because you're both doing terrible stuff,
You're both famous.
and you're both.
I am not What are you? Hold on a minute. Who's famous? Point to the person on this call who is famous.
Well, if I
Not
just
me.
point at the camera, I'm technically pointing at everybody.
Nobody on. I promise you, I'm not. Look at me. Look, see. Look, I'm wearing a crappy shirt from work. I'm wearing my crappy hat. I'm wearing my discount glasses. I promise, I'm not.
But
famous.
you are a published author.
That's true.
So is Kim Kardashian. So
I could say I kind of am,
Point
but it
taken.
doesn't really count.
all right, me and Anessa against the world. Go.
Boom.
No, my name just appears in a lab manual at some university.
Hey, that's really cool. I'm gonna we're gonna have to put that into the movie. Who is this Dr. Anessa? She's got a lab manual.
But
She's
Shows us how to
about
work the
astronomy lately.
cryogenic machine.
you got a better chance of being famous than any of us because you have books that are published that may someday be made into movies.
True.
I know. I do appreciate it. I mean, I'm talking and I'm goofing a little bit on it, but yeah, I would love to see that happen. And of course, you guys would be sitting on the dais with me at San Diego Comic-Con when that happens. That's all I'm gonna say. Wouldn't that be cool?
Kind of you.
Someone
Wouldn't
write
that
that
be
down. Someone write this down.
All right, hold on. Hold
Let's-
on. Let's see.
It's YouTube official.
Okay. Syfy Geeks Club. On this. Hold on. I'm working on this. Hold on.
All right. You got a notary there with you?
At SDCC. No, I'm writing it down. Everything I write is real. Hold on to this. Here we go. See?
Seriously, though,
I wrote it down. Yes.
Daniel, I have a question. Have you got any offers on your books as far as production companies?
I'm not
A sack
allowed
of
to.
magic beans doesn't count.
I'm not allowed to talk about it, the terms of the deals, or if they in fact exist, which I can neither confirm or deny from revealing any confidential information. And yet, I'd love to be able to tell you, whatever. I've talked to a number of people. I think I mentioned to you that Tim Minier, the executive producer of Firefly,
Oh,
helped me produce the book trailer of Iron Mountain. So if you go on,
I've
on,
only
uh,
seen the trailer for Flotilla.
yeah, go look at the Iron Mountain trailer. It should be on YouTube. Iron Mountain official book trailer.
Was
But,
he also the producer on Heroes?
No.
I think
He's executive producer right now of American Horror Story.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's worked with. He did Buffy. He's worked with
X-Files,
Yep.
X-Files, Dollhouse. Yeah.
He's worked on a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So he was kind enough to help me give me some notes as to how to give it some punch. So if you go check that out on YouTube, you can see some cool stuff there. And so I've had conversations with people on and off. I'm always trying to make something happen with this thing. And once that happens, then I can come back on and go, suck it, losers! The SciFi Geeks Club believed in me!
Daniel, what's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is some ridiculous name, some stupid thing that I couldn't recite if I wanted to. If you go to the webpage Flotilla Online, my web presence, FLOTILLAONLINE.com, all my stuff is there. And so you can go and look at some of my the book trailers, you can look at the reviews, you can look at some of the different stuff I got going on. I regularly post blog posts there with things I'm thinking about or talking about. So that is what I do.
All right.
And,
Actually, I found your it's Flotilla the fiction series is one of the channels where you can see a lot of the trailers.
True. Yes, that is true. I just don't have the URL. I didn't get a cool shortened URL, so I couldn't give that out. But yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you want to talk about your charity work before we get out of here again?
Sure. Well, like I was saying, what I'm doing right now is I do book giveaways for kids or for survivors of abuse. When I was a kid, came from a neglected and dysfunctional and occasionally abusive background, and so after I wrote books, I started giving away free e-copies to kids who were survivors. I just said, tell me a little bit about you, just so I know you're not trying to rip me off, and this copy is yours. So they've given me so many different horror, you just want to break down and cry and go crawl into a hole. after you read some of these stories. Some people have been through some truly horrific stuff, and there's some really brave people out there who are still just alive and kicking after surviving, horrific situations growing up. So I do these giveaways from time to time. I'm doing this again, but it's if you're in a position to buy a copy of the book, for every copy everyone buys, I will donate a copy to a abuser neglected kid. And so I'm setting up a channel right now to be able to do that, and so I'm making that offer to everyone else. If you'd be kind enough to do that, help me by buying a copy of a book, then I will pass along a second copy to someone who could really use a healthy break from reality.
Again, where's your website? What's the website address?
Flotilla, Flotilla, online, ONLINE.com.
All right, Daniel. Thank you very
I
much.
didn't post a page. I haven't posted a page there yet. I did post a link to. I should say, I posted a Reddit thread today, where I started it. It's kind of slowly getting traction. It's on the Syfy subreddit. So if you go to reddit.com/r/Syfy, it's right there near the top of the news section, I should say. So, we'll see what comes of it. But I want to give back. I want to find a way to scale up the effort that I'm making. So that's what I'm doing.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, Matt, do you have an update on the summer movie draft between Galactic Netcast and what we're watching weekly?
Can we just assume that Team Chiramrod's in first place? Because it's true.
Yes.
We are in first place with $477 million and 22,000. Team What We're Watching Weekly is in second place with $354,965,600. And bringing up the rear, Team Crap Hondo, $179,526,914.
Why'd you guys name your name so badly? That's very kind of insulting.
Hondo?
Hondo
Hondo! The crap was Matt.
comes from the awesome movie The History of Future Folk. Bam.
But
Okay.
Hondo.
Highly recommend that movie.
Also a town in Texas.
What movies are coming out this week, Matt? And
Let's see here. I gotta get back to the sheet. A Million Ways to Die in the West is Team What We're Watching Weekly, and Maleficent is Team Hondo.
Yep.
Okay, so we're out this week.
Hondo.
We're out this week.
But I'm guessing that X-Men... Did we have X-Men Days of Future Past?
Yes, we did.
I'm thinking they're going to have a strong second week. So I think we may make some more money this weekend.
I'm hoping so. No offense, but the only thing Team Hondo did right so far was get Godzilla. That is like 7/8 of their money.
But all our movies are like towards the end.
No, that's true. I was looking at that. Towards the end, you guys pick up. Although, I don't know how Team What We're Watching Weekly managed to get a movie every weekend.
I doubt that they really planned that.
No, I think they're cheating.
Yeah.
And there it is.
No, it'll be. I'm curious to see how it turns out because every week there's a turd and a decent movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie Chef only did $4 million, which was
Blended.
Blended did 18 million. I guess that was better than I thought it would do, but not as good as
Blended did just a little less than Transcendence, which is one of our first films, and that's been out for a while. That's sad.
Yeah, that's true.
One never went broke, underestimating the intelligence of the American public.
True that.
I think H.L. Mencken said that.
Truer words have never been said, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to follow us on the summer movie draft, go to galacticnetcasts.com, and we've got a link that you can follow us and cheer on your favorite team. While you're there, go to the subscribe page and subscribe to this and our other podcast, the Alien Invasion podcast, or just search for us on iTunes. And while you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars and a favorable review.
Do it for Matt and his little beard.
Oh, okay. So funny story. So
Matt loves Arnold.
I do. Prior to Well, Brad's not, so let's have a moment of silence. So earlier, it was probably almost a year ago, I did a Kickstarter for the band Austrian Death Machine, which you guys have heard this story a few times.
You
And
say
then
that
the
like
singer,
it's a bad thing.
that they've heard the story a few times?
No. You say it like it's a bad thing that you did a Kickstarter for Australian Death Machine.
Oh, Austrian Death Machine? Well, here's the kicker,
Right.
Daniel. The singer ended up trying to murder his wife by hiring a hitman. And
Yeah.
they think that he raised all the money from the Kickstarter to pay the hitman.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
To murder his wife.
What's that?
So you would
Oh,
Nope.
lost you, Dave.
We lost your audio, Dave.
I bet Dave had a really good question, too.
Oh, and we better hear it too because
I know, I'm eagerly awaiting his return to the audio so I can hear what that damn question was. Still nothing,
Well-
Dave. Oh, I see your lips moving, but I can't hear the words.
Come on,
Here.
Dave, you can
Here,
do
use-
it.
Use shadow puppets.
All right.
Oh,
So Matt,
Okay, fine. There you are.
you contributed to his attempt at murdering his wife.
Essentially, so what I did was I bought a vinyl, and I'm not really a big vinyl collector, but the ones that I do have I just frame. So I got the Austrian Death Machine Triple Brutal vinyl, and it was supposed to be signed by the entire band. And I got it today, and like there's no paper around the vinyl, and they just like printed off some sheet of paper, and then the guy who tried to murder his wife's the only one that signed it, and like there's a rip down the spine, and I'm like, why did I even contribute money? The whole reason that came up, Daniel, is Austrian Death Machine is a band that's every song is written based on an Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner.
Right.
So have you heard of them?
You know, I think I have. I'm just not very familiar
Okay.
with them.
No, and I didn't want to like keep talking at you if you were familiar. Some of their music is actually really funny, but that band and then the real band that the guy was a member of kind of catching a lot of flack since the whole attempted murder of his wife.
Yeah, huh? Funny that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you know what, man? I was gonna judge, but you know what? Here, I'll tell you a story at least so that you know. Did any of you guys watch the TV show The Shield?
No.
No.
I caught a couple of episodes here and there.
That's totally fine. There was a character on there. His name is Julian. He was a cop, and I really liked the character. And so in Flotilla, I put a character named Julian, looked just like that person. Because I like the show and I like the character, and I thought, oh, okay, I need this character right here. Boom. So I put him in Flotilla. Last week, that individual was in the news because he shot and killed his wife.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was Michael Jace, and that was last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's one of those things where you go, I really think something's cool, I really think something's awesome, and then you find out that these people are human and they've got problems, and sometimes things go horribly awry, and you can't let that get you down. Your heart was in the right place, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I appreciate it, and like doing Kickstarters, I really enjoy doing it.
I want you to know that the money I make from buying books will never be used to hire a hitman to murder my wife.
That's good
Hey,
to
you
know.
know what else? You know what else you have going for you? Gary sent out your thing, and he's probably got like 12 million followers.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know. Let's look it up. Just saying, I don't know. Gary's this guy.
Gary,
Gary is a
command you to-
guy.
I command you to do my bidding.
He used to draw on some TV shows.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a
Tell them what
sweetheart.
TV shows.
He's a pretty
Tell
cool
him what
guy.
they want.
Simpsons
right?
and King of the Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to stroke Gary's ego too much.
It's
He
okay.
seems pretty humble.
No, he's 100% humble.
Very down to earth guy. I really like
Such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, I sell propane and propane accessories.
Bobby.
Bobby, the boy ain't right.
Okay, I think we should leave on that note. That's
Yeah.
Talking about that science fiction all the time. Dang old galactic podcast here, Jim. I've been kind of
Probably
rusty on my
not.
Boomhauer, man. How would Boomhauer narrate Star Wars? I mean, talking about a long time ago that a galaxy far, far away, these rebels are trying to destroy Death Star, man.
So badly just want to go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Hey, Matthew, do you want me to read you a bedtime story?
Kind of.
Well, he's got a couple.
Yeah, can you do it in your Batman voice?
Okay. Iron Mountain continues the story of a teen surviving the breakdown of the United States after a massive terrorist attack. Along with his family, Jim must escape a disintegrating West Coast. New faces might be helpful friends or deadly enemies. Searching for a safe place in a dangerous world will uncover desperate choices and painful truths. Jim might survive, but nothing will be the same.
Very good, Daniel.
Awesome.
Thank you.
On that note,
Thank you.
you can give us feedback and tell us how Daniel did. GalacticNetcasts@gmail.com. Our number, voicemail, 805-328-3966. Follow us on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook. And subscribe to us on iTunes or through Stitcher Smart Radio. And again, thanks to our guest geek, Daniel Haight, for joining us.
Operators are standing by.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Dad.
Come on,
Bye.
man.
Bye, Dad.
Bye.